Hello, this is Orange Coffee. Today I have a booster tier list. There was another maintenance, so I did this on stream. The high quality deep dive series is starting soon, so stay tuned. But for now, let's start with the boosters. We are gonna do a booster tier list now. I have prepared all the boosters here very nicely. Hunter's Ire. Hunter's Ire deals 40% more damage to non-player enemies with more combined shield and health than you. So basically you do more damage to monsters. This says non-player enemies. This is very important. This is complete garbage. Don't use it. Next booster. Unburdened. Carrying trinkets and artifacts no longer affects sprint duration. This is very nice if you're carrying trinkets around, but you should normally extract your trinkets. If you are a very movement heavy player, this is extremely nice. So this goes into the B tier. It's good, but you have to play a specific playstyle for it to be good. Next booster. Deep Sea Sense. When enemy players are nearby, your traverser will automatically ping the closest one. This is a very good effect, because if someone is close, you get a ping, like you get a danger ping, like if a player pinged on the player, which is on an incredible range. So this goes into A tier. The only reason this doesn't go into S tier is because one booster costs 10,000. This is the most expensive booster. It is good, but don't run it when you die. Next booster. Maximum effort. Start matches and resurrects with a 50 health boost. So this is plus 50 over health on match start, and this booster is extremely good. You have to run it in my opinion. Booster. Inner power. The duration of buffs applied to you is increased by 2 seconds. This is decent, but it is very expensive. The effect is good if you are running artifact or gear that is giving you buffs, for example the seashore conch or the boombox or the new sacred bead. So it is nice, but it's specific. Next booster. Staying low. Move 50% faster and take 50% less damage while knocked down. This is decent for squad if you have squad mates that run revive gear or artifacts. So for example Vessel Flute or a legendary Cohos Kite. Nice, but you should instead run a booster that keeps you alive. Like this only has impact if you die, and you shouldn't die. It is better solved by not dying. Next one. Nimble Trigger. Reload time for shotguns and submachine guns is reduced by 20%. This is nice. Some people like it. I don't run it. If you play a lot of these guns, it's good. Putting it in B tier. Next booster. Wardmaster. Cooldown time for equipped ward type gear is reduced by 20%. This is another 7,000 booster one, so it's expensive. And I do not think it is good. Why is Wardmaster not good? Because most of the ward abilities are not that good, and if you want low cooldown on the ward abilities, you should run Blooded Blade instead. The only case I have found where this is useful yet is if you play a melee build and you run invisibility, but it's like not that good because the ward abilities aren't that good. Next booster, Traverser's Toil. Traverser melee and range damage is increased by 30%. So your Traverser melee is if you just press the melee button, and Traverser ranged is your slingshot. So instead of doing 20 damage, you will do 30. Is a good effect by itself, but again it's expensive. Is necessary in a melee build. So I'm putting it in B. Traveler's Way. Restore 200% more stamina when using your traverser for movement. So what this is referring to, if you use, for example, a grappling hook or a zip line or one of the jump over bridges, yeah, then you restore more stamina while you do that. But that stamina restoration is completely irrelevant. So D tier. Next one, Gunslinger. Hip fire accuracy is increased by 25%. This is an extremely good effect, and a lot of people run this booster. It makes most of the close range weapons way better. For example, shotguns. It is also very good on SMGs. It is also extremely good on the good fella. This is an easy A tier. Most of the high level players run this one because it's so good, but you can perfectly play without it. Like for example, I don't use it and I'm not having any hip fire problems. Next one, Stockpiling. Start matches and resurrect with the maximum amount of ammo, frag grenades, and healer cola. This is nice. This would be a C tier. Very nice. You don't have to buy ammo, but you can just buy ammo. Buying ammo is so cheap. The main effect of this is you don't have to run to a shop at the start of the game. You get another cola, you get another grenade. If you want that, you can run the care package ward gear and solve it this way. Or you can just loot a box, like loot some boxes, loot a bit longer. So what this is basically doing is gives you, I would say, like 30 seconds time advantage in each match. So I'm putting it in C tier, but it doesn't work right now. There's a bug in the game that this booster doesn't work. Next booster, Farsight Scope. Aiming and draw speed for sniper rifles and pistols is increased by 30%. This is useful if you play pistols, but sniper rifles are too inconsistent to find for this to be good. This is nice to have, but the weapon combo where this is useful isn't that good, and it is too rare to find. So I'm putting it into C tier. Adapting. The duration of negative effects applied to you is reduced by 30%. So negative effects are, for example, slows. Yeah, you know the little goo throwers, they slow, stun grenades, fire. So it reduces 30% of this. It is pretty nice, but it is too expensive. I wouldn't really run it. Some people like it. If you have that booster spare and stuns are good right now, why not put it on? Okay, Exomaster. Cooldown time for equipped Exo type gear is reduced by 20%. So this is pretty nice. Most of the Exo gear is pretty good. The 20% cooldown reduction isn't that much, but it is nice to have in some builds that heavily rely on your exo ability. For example, this is nice in a melee build where you heavily rely on Veteran's Blade. This is nice if you run Boomerang. This is nice if you run Kite. All of the exos are pretty good. So I'm putting this right here. Foraging. Positive effects from eating food are improved by 50%. So all the food items, the apples, the health up drinks, and the eels and the mushroom, so the shield eels and the haste mushrooms get 50% more effect. Example, shield eel normally gives you 10 overshield. If you have this booster equipped, you get 15. This is nice, but it doesn't have an impact most of the time. The only time this is really good if you play Jello Wall and you have your Jello Wall up to rare, because then it will drop, I think, 2 or 3 apples, and you can just eat the apples instead of using a cola mid-fight. So this, I'm gonna put it at bottom of B, because it's a nice use case. The booster is cheap, but it doesn't do much. Next one, taking cover. Take 30% less damage from explosions and enemy gear. This is very good. There's a lot of grenades, and a lot of the gear does damage. For example, the boomerang. Most of the people are running boomerang. You take 30% less damage. This is very good, but it is expensive. So I'm putting it here. And the last booster, Gun Runner's Roar, move 100% faster while aiming. Assault rifles and LMGs. This is a very, very nice effect, because if you ADS with an assault rifle or an LMG, you can move around while shooting, so you can make your opponent miss easier. And this is it's just nice. It's just a nice effect. So I'm putting it in B. So these are all the boosters. You have to run maximum effort. These are all very good, but I would only run one of them because all of these are expensive. You can run easily multiple of those here, of the green ones, because they're cheap. I would only run Inner Power, Exomaster, or Adapting if your build is like heavily gain something from that. Same with Traverser's Toil. Only run Traverser's Toil if you run a melee build. One of the main components of a melee build. These ones are just, I wouldn't run them. Don't run them. You can try them. Maybe you really enjoy them and you can like keep running them, but it's just kind of a waste of money. They don't do anything. Don't run them. Don't buy them. Stockpiling would be a C or maybe even a B, but doesn't work right now. I hope you enjoyed this and could learn something. If you think differently or think I'm sleeping on a booster, please let me know. Also some advice for all the new players: save your money at first and run few boosters. I recommend to only run maximum effort at first. Boosters can be extremely expensive if you don't survive most of your matches, and your Hawks are better spent upgrading your artifacts, gear and loyalty. And for all the Twitch viewers out there, there's currently Hawk Twitch drops going on. Drops can only be received from partnered content creators on this campaign, which lasts until March 8th, 12 AM GMT. Sadly, I'm not partnered yet, but there's a list of quality streamers on the screen that not only stream a lot, but also kickstarted my own Twitch. Thank you guys for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Goodbye.